Hello guys, thank you for joining me for another video here in glorious Scotland. We're up in Aberdeenshire, not too far from home to be honest, and yeah, we've stopped off the Suie Hill in between a little village called Clatt and the town of Afford here in Aberdeenshire. And yeah, what a glorious day it is here today. The weather is finally good. It's taken a long time to get here, but there's a heat wave down south. I think we're slowly starting to get it just now. I've just finished work, so I thought I would take you on a little bit of a mystery tour across some of the local villages and towns here in northeast of Scotland. Probably going to start off with Clatt, a very small village just down the road, in fact down the hill here. Then we'll probably move on to Kennethmont, go over to Rhynie, and then finish off at Gartly. So I'm just going to pan the camera around a second to where we show you where we are. So we're, as I say, we're currently on top of the Suie Hill, which is also a walk. The forest behind me is called Whitehoch Forest, and it's sort of linked with Benahee. So there's another walk called the Garden Way Walk, and it sort of takes you from Benahee all the way here over towards Clatt, and then takes you back towards Benahee too. Yeah, but as you can see, what a views it is here. It's just absolutely stunning. So I've just parked on the road here, very steep. You can get a lot of cyclists here as well on this road, a fair climb. But yeah, off in the distance here, you can see Noth, right where my finger is, right there. So that's over towards Rhynie. We've covered that before in a previous video. You're more than welcome to check that out. And I'll link that in the description down below. You can zoom in there. So that is very much a historical old Pictish fort. So me and Monty went there. And then along here you've got, you can't really see it, but you've got the little village of Clatt. And then beyond here is Kennethmont. I can see this distillery off in the distance. I'm not sure if you can. You can just see it right about there somewhere, right there. And over towards this direction is Inch, and beyond that would be Inverurie and the likes of Benahee itself. But yeah, as I say, I am parked just over to the right here, and this is the road down the road. And if I was to go back this way, it would take us towards Afford, Tullynestle direction. Also, there's some picnic benches here dedicated to some people. I guess they maybe love this area, love the views, and you can sort of see why. So yeah, a Craig Yule and Martin Massey. And you've got Irene Allen here too. But yeah, definitely really good for walks, good for cycling. On a day like this, I don't know if I'd fancy it cycling, far too hilly for me to be honest, but yeah, good on anyone that can do that here. But yeah, we're going to just have a little bit of a drive, go ahead, as I say, head towards Clatt at the moment, and yeah, just see what sort of footage we can get to do. There's one other view of it, but yeah, you can see there's lots of different houses, farms, a big house here. Beautiful. Before I leave, I noticed there's some other things dedicated to other people, just like nice little stones, little monuments, things here, just to remember people that have passed away. Yeah, we're going to hit the road now, and we'll take you along with us. One other thing I should mention is there's a car park just beyond me, just slightly up the hill, for people to do the hill walking or around this part of the forest. But yeah, you can park. I'm parked in like a little a parking space on the left hand side here, but there's a couple more further down here too. Yeah, some beautiful views. Just before I start off the drive down towards Clatt, I thought I'd better just mention that sadly we've got no Monty today. He's at home, he's resting. I have just finished work, so that's why he's also not with us, but I think it's too hot for him to be here too. But yeah, we'll see him when we get home. So it is quite a steep drive down towards Clatt here. Just got to take a bit of time. The road has widened a lot in the last few years due to funding from Aberdeenshire Council and also the government, and a lot of lorries do use this road. But yeah, I remember coming down on these, or up on these roads as well, and it's probably half the size of what it was. Oh sorry, it's double the size now of what it once was. It was just so narrow, especially down the other end of the hill. But yeah, much better now, and there's a really bad corner just right here. Just stopped off the side of the road. I think I maybe just scared a couple of little lambs there. So cute. So that's just us approaching Clatt just now, and you may have just caught a glimpse of Noth just there. And yeah, Clatt is just a very small village here. Now it used to have a school. The school's now been mothballed. It was mothballed a few years ago. So a lot of the kids that used to go to Clatt now go to some of the schools within the surrounding area, which is, I know, a real shame for like locals here. But I mean, some of the local schools are only a few miles away, so it's not too far. But it's just a shame for a community to lose a school in this village. As you can see, just a few houses and cars off the left-hand side. And we'll just actually park up by the village hall. We'll just have a little show off of the village hall. We might just have a nip to the cemetery and look at the old kirk, the old church. And on this road as well, you can also go left to Rhynie. We're going to continue on to Kennethmont and then head back to Rhynie. It's a fork in the road here. You can go to Rhynie, as it says on the sign there, but we're going to continue around here and head towards the village hall, which is just around this corner here. It's a lovely house here. It's been newly built just off in the distance there. But yeah, we're just going to go in here to see the village hall. Seems to be a little windier down once you get off the Suie Hill. A little bit more windier. But yeah, this is the community hall here, the village hall at Clatt. I guess it'll just be used for different functions, different events, galas and things like that. There is like a children's play park. Remember coming here with our niece a few years ago. Like a flying fox. It's got a slide, some swings, and other things. And there's also a football pitch. It looks like maybe a 7-a-side football pitch here with the 2 goals. No nets, but the goals here. And there's also some picnic benches. And there's even like games on it. You could play drafts on here, or even snakes and ladders by the looks of things. But yeah, this is the hall. We just have a little walk round. As I say, I don't know how often it is used, but it is used for, you know, local events and things. It's just good to sort of document all this and make people aware of all these facilities within this area, because a lot of these communities are all just, you know, about the people, the local people, trying to keep these things afloat. You've also got a defib here, always good to see. So yeah, we do have here actually available to hire. So the main hall or community room, and then details and also the email address or the website is there too. It looks like there is like a notice board here too. And I also believe they do a dog show here. Never quite taken Monty, but maybe we should do at some point in the future. Big World Cup event coming up soon as well. Scotland are in the World Cup. We're going to take a left, or we'll just walk towards the cemetery, I think. You just see here actually, just a sign for the Clatt Village Hall, and actually there's actually a nice garden here, some nice seating, looks like. Yeah, that's lovely. And also there's a sign here saying it's funded by the National Lottery, so that's good. But yeah, look at that, that's great. We're going to head towards the cemetery now. So we just came from this direction over here. Down this way would be Clatt, or more Clatt, and there's just a site notice board here for Clatt Old Kirk. Bit of history. Well, we'll be respectful, but we'll just have a little walk in here as well. And just doing a bit of research before getting here, I read that this is the former parish church, and it was actually built in 1799, and it had many medieval fragments from a previous church from 1640. And this church was actually repaired in 1828 and 1866. A lot of big tombstones and things here. You see here, this is the former church. I think it maybe is used time. I think this is the former church. I could be totally wrong though. I think it must still be used maybe just seasonally, maybe at Christmas time. Now, if my research is correct, I do believe this church here behind me closed in 1996 as a place of worship, and it was replaced by a church in Afford from that moment on. So Afford again is just over the hill, over by the Suie here. So I hope that information is correct. If it's not, I apologise. But I think this must be it here. Also, I believe this is a primary school, or was a primary school. This is the one that I'm talking about that was mothballed back in 2022. But as you can see, the gates are closed there, and there's a house just beyond this wall, so I don't really want to trespass or anything, so no, I'll just show you from here. That's what it is. There's also meant to be a mort house here within the Clatt cemetery. Couldn't quite find that, so I don't know if it's maybe been all secured now and covered up. But yeah, mort house is basically like a storage place for dead bodies, sadly. Used to be, dead bodies used to be sort of stored there before the funerals took place. But yeah, I can't seem to locate where that is, sadly. So we're just making our way back to the car, just at the Clatt Village Hall. We're going to take the car and go this way down to Kennethmont. It's only about, I'd say, a 2-mile drive, if that. It doesn't take long at all. Just stopped off on the road to Kennethmont, and I forgot to say I should mention this place here. It's the Glamping Camper Van Hire. They have a phone number here and also a Facebook page. They might even have a website. Basically, you can rent caravans and you can even stay here. But it's just on the road between Clatt and Kennethmont. Definitely, if you're interested, check them out. Here we are on our next stop of this mystery tour. The village of Kennethmont here. It's the village of Kennethmont here. We're just going to drive through. We're going to take a right, head towards the village, and we'll stop off at the Rans Hall, or the Rhynie Hall, and also over to the distillery too. So we'll take a right at this junction here. So a lot of these towns and villages in the northeast of Scotland now have like a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, which we have to abide by. And just on the right hand side here used to be a local Chinese here in Kennethmont, but long before that there used to be a very popular pub called the Golden Pheasant, and people would travel, all across the north of Scotland to have their various pub crawls on the buses, and even drive to the Golden Pheasant, among other pubs as well in the area. But also there's been a massive decline in the uses of pubs over the last 20-30 years. It's just gone out of fashion in a way. So yeah, it's no longer open as a pub or a Chinese. And this is Rhynie Hall. We're just going to go in here just now. So we're here at the Rhynie Hall here in Kennethmont. It was opened in 1909. So back in 2009 it celebrated its 100th year anniversary here in Kennethmont. It's used for a lot of parties, lots of local events, lots of functions. I know a local theatre group also use it as well, so it's definitely well used. You go past on the weekend, there's always cars in this car park or on the road. Yeah, very popular, and we'll go around and have a little look at it too. So the public hall here in Kennethmont was actually proposed by Mrs. Leith Hay, who was of course the wife of Norman Leith Hay, or Charles Edward Leith Hay, who was the laird at the famous Leith Hall. And we might actually stop off at Leith Hall, because it is actually just beyond these woodlands here. It's owned by the National Trust for Scotland, operated by them too. We have done a video there, myself and Monty. We'll put that in the description down below too, for a link to that video. But here is Rhynie Hall. And as you can see here, Rhynie Hall 1909 is what it says up here. Right there. There was a lot of fundraising had to go into this to sort of make the sort of dream come to fruition, I guess. So sort of Mr. Leith Hay sort of put his wife's dreams into action, and there was lots of fundraising that took place in the year before it opened. Lots of things happened at Leith Hall, and it was actually Mr. Leith that decided he wanted the turrets on, and the turrets are exactly the same as the ones over in Leith Hall. Get some beautiful views here of the parks here in the hills. So the Suie Hill is over this direction over here somewhere. Clatt is over here. We've got Noth just beyond these trees over here. But yeah, beautiful. Sorry, the camera, I just noticed in the camera, can't get very good views here. Yes, Noth in this sort of direction. Clatt over here. The Suie Hills over here. They've also got like a scheme here, community give and take. A nice little, I don't know what you'd call it. Gazebo, that's not even a gazebo, I don't know what you'd call this. But yeah, it looks like it's probably unlocked. And yeah, you can probably give and take things. Clothes, got baby seats, got games and things. Wow, you can just take this is all just for free. People that need to be respectful, mind. But yeah, they've got DVDs and things as well, cutlery. It's amazing. Really good community initiative. And I'll just close this door. Just a little bit about it here actually, if you can read that here, if that's helping. Just come around the side of Rhynie Hall. Now there is a school in Kennethmont as well, it's just over to the right hand side here. And beyond that is the distillery, which will take you along to in just a few moments. This is actually quite the playground for the primary, but school is open at the moment, so I won't be going into that. Bit of a sign here. In memory of William and Agnes Scattery, two former residents of the parish of Kennethmont, whose daughter, Miss Amy E. Scattery, left a legacy of £1,000 for the benefit of the people of Kennethmont. Again, there's a defib here too. Someone who comes to Kennethmont quite a lot. I've never actually been in the hall, which is quite strange for me, even though I've been coming here for the last, I don't know, 17 years or so. So coming back around to the side, there is a recycling centre here too, for all your glass bottles and things like that. Beyond Rhynie Hall, there is a cemetery too for Kennethmont, but we're going to take this road here, it takes us down towards the distillery. This is us coming into the distillery end of Kennethmont. If you just stop here a second there, just there on the left hand side, you can walk to Leith Hall from there, around the forest. And as you can see around here, this is the Ardmore Distillery. And I'll just stop off, I'll just show you off a little bit more of it when I just stop the car. Here's just the sign for the Ardmore Distillery. So just a little bit more about the history of this whisky distillery here in Kennethmont. It was actually built in 1898 by William Teacher, and now Teacher's is like a famous whisky brand, and it was actually the son, Adam Teacher, who is the son of William Teacher. He was the one that sort of created it, but Adam basically secured fillings for their blends, and it was, yeah, as I say, it started in 1898, but it now is sort of operated by the Sundari Global Spirits, which is based in Osaka in Japan. I'd love to go to Japan. I think definitely want to go to Universal Studio in Japan, and it's actually located in Osaka. And yeah, there's currently 8 stills, I believe, here at the Ardmore Distillery. 2 stills were added in 1955, and a further 4 were added in 1974. So they must have started off with 2 back when it first opened, 1898, and then moved to 4 come 1955, and then added 4 more in 74. So they do have 8 stills here. So I'm just realising you're looking at a sign. That's it here. And beyond the distillery there is like a train line, and it is the main train line from Aberdeen to Inverness. The station actually, the station building for Kennethmont is actually just down here on Station Road. It was closed in 1968, but the actual like train station has actually been converted into a house now, and yeah, there is someone living in it. So it is just beyond, right down the bottom of this road, beyond the distillery here. I know quite often a lot of these houses parked on the left here are covered in like a black sort of like a smoke or something. I guess it's just the years and years of the distillery business. All the sort of stuff they put out into the atmosphere, I guess it just hits off the houses. But you can see some of the buildings here are quite dark in colour. We're going to hit the road again now. We're going to go over to Leith Hall, just show that from a distance. We are National Trust for Scotland members, so I could technically get in. I could get into the grounds, I can park for free, I can probably get into the walled garden. I just don't think I've got time for that today, but we'll take you along anyway. So we are leaving Kennethmont just now. In fact, we've just left it. Now if we were going to Rhynie, I could technically go this way. We probably will head down that way when we come back. We will head down to Leith Hall. It's just right at the bottom of this hill just here. Now you're limited to 10 miles an hour down this road. And yeah, as I say, I won't be stopping here for too long. We have done a video here in the past. Again, as I said earlier, I will link that in the description down below. But yeah, I'll just show you off the resemblance to Rhynie Hall, which I showed you not too long ago with the turrets, and just point out a few little things in terms of where the walled garden is. And there's a tea room here as well. I think it's actually closed on Monday, sadly. I think it's tends to be open more towards like the weekends. Maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday possibly. Could be totally be wrong. There's a car park just over here too. You should have to pay for it, but with our memberships we won't have to. I'll show you where that is as well. But yeah, the walled garden is just off to the left there, and the car park is over to the right here. Got my parking pass here. It's only valid for like another month, sadly. We haven't made that much use of it, and we really need to do more of it. Hopefully we will. Maybe we might renew it. We're just not sure yet. But yeah, I'll put my pass here. We'll have a quick walk around Leith Hall, which is just here. Just a bit of the lay of the land here. So this is where we are. Henrietta's tea room is closed today, but yeah, there is potential to have it is in here. You can have very different walks and things as well here, and then the walled garden is here. A little bit about the sort of the wildlife you can see, hopefully, and yeah, just a bit of history here too. We actually had to walk around Leith Hall the other week. Didn't realise how much trees they had taken down. It looked totally different to one of the last times we were here. Just totally did not look the same at all. You've got some opening hours here too. Oh, this is maybe the train times. And then the garden is obviously open daily from 10 to 4 this time of the year. And yeah, Friday to Sunday is 10:30 to 3:30, and they also do tours too. And yeah, parking is £5 or free for members, which I am. And this is maybe some of the offerings they have for afternoon tea and things like that. And yeah, Henrietta's tea room is closed today. So Leith Hall was opened in 1650, and it wasn't until 1945 that the last laird had this place. The mother gifted it to the National Trust for Scotland, and ever since then it's been run by the National Trust for Scotland. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. I can just take you a little bit closer, and you can also see the turrets around the top here too. You can see the sort of the turrets do resemble Rhynie Hall. And a lot of people do say this is haunted. This is a haunted house, people say. Not sure how much truth there is into it. I think I did speak about it on my other video here, and it did, as I said in the last video too, it did appear on Britain's Most Haunted, that show, a good few years ago. I think you can still find that on YouTube. I think I did link that in the description down below and to my previous video too, but I think that video is readily available on YouTube still. Be very quiet here today, but it is lovely. And the last time we came here for some food, we actually sat in this little courtroom here. You can sort of have your food inside or also have it outside too. And they do welcome dogs as well. coat of arms here. I don't know if you call it a coat of arms here, but it's nice. Just take fear for a wonder, because the last time I came here it was actually raining, and I took Monty as well, but it was just absolutely awful weather, so I didn't get some good footage of it. And so I'm just have a little walk around. Also, the famous hanging tree, I did point that out in the previous video. I believe this is the tree here. There is a sign for that. And basically people used to be hanged there. And to their death, basically. It's at least 4 stories, this building too. I'm not sure if there's like a basement or a cellar. Quite possibly there could be. And if one of the walks you could do is along here by the pond. We did take Monty the other week, but the pond didn't look very nice. It looked minging, to be fair. So I wouldn't let him off in that water at all. But this is, I guess this is what you would call the front of Leith Hall, I guess. Unless you can call that the front, I'm not quite sure. Hard to tell. Yeah, I'm guessing this must be the front door, so we were looking around the back. As you can see, it's all locked up today. And actually, the clouds are getting quite dark. But yeah, over here, it's quite bright. Let's hope it doesn't rain. But here's Leith Hall in all its glory. And the National Trust for Scotland do have gardeners and people like that for maintenance, to cut the grass and to prune all the flowers and the shrubs and things as well. I'm just not sure if they are working today, with it being a Monday and potentially with the site being closed on Mondays. They maybe don't work on Mondays. I could be totally wrong on that. I just don't see anybody going about just now, but we're just walking around the other side of Leith Hall. You definitely see the turrets definitely resemble the ones at Rhynie Hall though. And that's us back to where we started. We're going to head towards a car now, and we're going to go towards Rhynie. I will talk a bit more about Rhynie when we get there. So that's us now entering Rhynie on the third stop of our little tour here, across some of the small villages here within the Aberdeenshire region, or more say Huntly region. Rhynie is actually home to about 500 people, I would say. I did a bit of research a while ago, and it was actually said to be home to about over 1,000 people, or people well over 1,000 people back in the 1400s. It used to have a pub just off on the left hand side. It's no longer there. There's a local school here, Rhynie Primary School. There's also a local corner shop here, which is just located just off on the left hand side here, just there. And there's also a doctor's surgery just on the exit road by Rhynie too. So we're here in the centre of Rhynie Town Square, I think it could be. If you ever come here in winter, it's got really nice Christmas decorations. You always see it around sort of these, the fences around the grass here. It's always nicely lit up with different ornaments and things. There's a church here, Rhynie Church, and there's also like a monument here. I should have done a bit of research on this before, but I haven't. So this is in member, of the people that had passed during the Great War, the First World War, 1914 to 1919, and also there's names here for people that had died in the Second World War too. There's a soldier up on the plinth up there. We've also got number 14. I think they host like lots of community events as well. There's also a bus stop and a bus route that runs to Rhynie, or through Rhynie. It's just here, and you've also got the corner shop just right there. If I can zoom in, just there, right there, corner shop. Very well used, very good for the community. And if I pan around here, we've got the local primary school, and this also takes you to Noth, the car park for that. We'll have a little walk round the exit road to Rhynie and show you off Noth from there too. This is it from a distance, the town square in Rhynie. And actually this road over here, this actually takes you to Clatt. I mentioned earlier with the turn off to Rhynie, it actually takes you down this road. Up here it takes you towards Lumsden and Afford. I won't be going too far as Lumsden today, but I'll show you the view of Noth anyway. So we're just leaving Rhynie. Rhynie's behind us, but if we pan round a second, you'll get a very good view of Noth right in the centre here. Wind's definitely picking up right now. This is the Rhynie Medical Centre that I spoke about. So it's just a small practice here in Rhynie, but it's great for the community to have. Hope you can hear me. I forgot my wireless mic and the wind is picking up a little bit. So I'm hoping you can hear me. If not, you won't be, but you can probably just skip past this part of the video. Here at Noth, we've actually stopped off at a little rest spot here, a little bench here. Noth is around 1,800 metres, 1,800 feet tall. It's around 1,850 feet tall. Very loud. Yeah, around 1,850 feet tall. It's a very much a historical old Pictish fort. It goes back thousands and thousands of years ago. They have found 8 Pictish stone carvings, one of which is the Rhynie man. So the Rhynie man is like a 6-foot carving of a man, a bearded man with an axe. That was discovered right on top of Noth. And if you ever visit Suie Hill House in Aberdeen, it's actually the headquarters for Aberdeenshire Council. It's standing there in a glass cabinet. I've seen that once before when I had a thing on at Suie Hill House. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, go and visit it. Yeah, all the way up there, Noth. Me and Monty did that a few years ago. I'll link that in the description down below. So there's a walk here, like a well-trodden path here. And then down towards Rhynie, and I hope you heard what I said there. It's a little bit windy, and a few motorbikes were passing by as well, and cars and things. There is a bench here dedicated to Madge and Margaret Andrew as well. But yeah, what a cracking view they've got of this bench here, looking over towards Noth. Now we're going to head down back into Rhynie, go and get the car, and then we're on our next stop, or our whistle-stop tour, is the hamlet of Gartly. And then we'll stop off there, and we'll also stop off at the Gartly Tin Hut, which is just a mile or two actually away from Gartly itself. Just stopped off here at number 14 in Rhynie. Just a little few things that we have here. Different offerings, coffee mornings. This is on later in the month, next weekend. There's other things here. I'm not sure if this. Oh, this is at Glen Kindays, is not in Rhynie itself. And there's also a tractor run here next. Actually, it's July. North Parish Church 14, serving the community. There's actually a dog show happening at the Tin Hut. We're actually going to go to Tin Hut in just a little while. I'll show you that. They must have bingo nights, quiz nights. Oh, that's in Huntley, sorry. Yeah, other things here too. And on our second last, but our penultimate stop of the trip, it's going to be a little town or a little village or hamlet, you would maybe call it, of Gartly. There's a level crossing back there, but if I'm honest, there's not a lot to see here in terms of things to point out. A lot of it is just houses and things, and I'll just take you just through part of it just here. Yes. Yeah, just houses. Beyond here is the old school. The school was actually closed in 2022, but before then it was actually shut in 2018 due to like an oil leak or something like that. And that was what the reason that was like the political reason, I guess, it was closed. But I guess there's other reasons why it was probably closed. But this is the school here, the old school. Yeah, no longer open, and the pupils have now been mothballed into other schools in the area. There's even a set of old swings there, right there. But yeah, some of it's overgrown. It looks like some of it is getting maintained though. But yeah, this building's been shut for how long? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but almost 8 years coming up for. So it's a shame. I've just got my arm extended here for the camera because it's going to slip off like that otherwise. But I just wanted to point out that it used to be a castle here in Gartly. Now it no longer exists, but it was built in 1562 and it was sort of southwest of the village here in Gartly. And the Barclays were said to be the owners from the 12th century through to the 16th century. And Mary Queen of Scots, who you might have heard of, you probably have, stayed here in 1562. And she actually visited it again in the August of 1564. So yeah, a very famous person who visited the castle. The castle was actually demolished in 1975, and about 7 years later, in about 1982, all the remains of the castle were gone. They've all been removed. I tried to have a look on the map somewhere of any place where I could have a little look at the sort of remnants of the castle. But yeah, it just no longer exists. It's not on a map, there's no pictures of it, can't find anything. But now we're going to continue on our way through Gartly, and we'll stop off at the Tin Hut too. Just coming through the opposite way of Gartly, just want to point out there is a level crossing here for the train line from Inverness to Aberdeen. Now we're going to head off down towards the Gartly Hut for our final stop of our journey today. So one final stop on our tour around some of the communities here in the northeast of Scotland. We're at the Gartly Tin Hut, or it's also called Gartly Community Hall, but effectively it's known as the Gartly Tin Hut. It's actually been here for well over 100 years. A few years ago, back in 2023, it actually went under a massive refurbishment, and it's changed colour and all that sort of things over the years too. But this is it right here. It hosts a lot of different events, functions, birthday parties, fitness classes, lots of things for the community. And yeah, it's a great position. You've got Huntly over here and Gartly back here, so it's sort of in between them both. And yeah, really well used facility. And we've actually got a dog show, which I showed earlier in Rhynie, here in a few weeks' time at the Gartly Tin Hut too. Let's get a bit closer look. Yeah, they've got lots of things going on here. But as I say, 12th of July, the dog show. And yeah, they've got other things here. And this is Huntly, the health walks. But yeah, they do have other things, whether it's here or other places. Advertising other businesses and charities and things like that. Yeah, this is it here. And there's houses beyond here too. There's a little picnic area just off in the distance here as well. And we'll just take you around the other side of the building too. And we'll finish up the video. I just wanted to do one of these videos just to cover like sort of the local area that I live in, and things that are offered and things that are going on in this area. This is the other side here. Yeah, I just wanted a quick stop off here just to show you. Maybe people weren't aware that this even exists. So yeah, I wanted just to stop off and show you guys. Other than that, it's been a really nice day. It's clouded over since we started over in the Suie Hill. From there we went down to Clatt, over to Kennethmont, showed you off the Rhynie Hall, the distillery too. And then we went to Leith Hall after that, then over to Rhynie. Bit of a view of Noth, a little drive through Gartly, nothing too extensive. There's not much to see there, to be honest. And yeah, we've now stopped off at Gartly Hut. I'm away home. I'm away home to see Monty, probably take him for a little walk, just a little one, as it is still quite warm. And yeah, I'll edit the video, I'll put it up, and yeah, if you want, you can watch it, you can comment, you can share it. And if you maybe live in these little places in this area, or you visited them, why not drop me a comment, and you can also tell me what I've missed as well. But yeah, I thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye!